Welcome back, guys and ghouls, to my haunted palace. In this episode, animals, animal life. Do you remember animals? Do you remember the beasts of the sea? Do you remember the beasts of the land? Do you remember the beasts of the air? Have you ever been to a museum and you walk to the front and there is an owl man there? That's Animal Crossing. And guess what color it is right now? That will be important later. Today we will be telling you a tale from the tale book of tales about what if the video games Animal Crossing, but instead of being happy-go-lucky and cheery, are fucked up and evil things occur in them. Do you understand? I understand. You understand. Okay? The name of this tale is Animal Crossing Red. Let us begin this tale. Sorry, I had a couple too many doomed souls. We will begin in earnest right now. Fuck, come on. Ever since Animal Crossing was released for the Nintendo GameCube, it has been my favorite video game franchise. I practically grew up on the games, so it will always have a very special place in my heart. However, after that one night, I could never look at the games the same way. It was maybe a month after the release of Animal Crossing New Leaf. I had already been playing the game for straight up weeks with hardly any breaks. I had grown attached to a character that made her debut in the game, Isabelle. I actually had a Shih Tzu with the same name as a child, around the time I had started playing the franchise. She reminded me of so much of her that she was immediately my new favorite, pushing Teddy to number 2. My favorite is, of course, Cat and Cherry and Rosie and Coco from Animal Crossing. Isabelle from Animal Crossing? What is yours? Is it, I am, I am projecting, I am reading your mind, I am reading your thought patterns. Oh, yes. I think your favorite villager is Limburg. Fuck's sake. Really? You are more fucked up even than I. Perhaps if you are wise and you avoid the evil at Animal Crossing Red, you will not be the next one in boxes. I went to GameStop that day, hoping I could find a game that could distract me from my unhealthy habits of playing Animal Crossing so often. Do not allow yourself to become dependent on crossing animals, for what will you do when they cross you? It wasn't helping though, as all I could look at was Animal Crossing merchandise. I picked up a plush of Isabelle and examined it. Big fan Animal Crossing. I turned to look at where the voice was coming from. It was the cashier. He looked like a normal guy, though he wasn't wearing any uniform. Instead, he was wearing a Mario hoodie. He did have a name tag, though, that read Jake. Oh yeah, huge fan. Grew up on the games, and it's been my favorite ever since. He let out a light chuckle. Well then, I think I have just the thing for you. He got out a cartridge hidden under the counter. I walked closer, plush in hand, and got a closer observation. It had a sticker with a chibi headshot of Isabelle, and above it it said Animal Crossing. Red. I figured it was named after Red as a tribute to the Pokemon games. I was immediately intrigued. I bought the plush and the game, and immediately replaced New Leaf with Red. When I opened the game, I was greeted with a video from Reggie Fils Ami. Hello, stranger, whoever is there. If you are seeing this video, that means you are the only person in the entire world with Animal Crossing Red. This was originally a test to see if we had the right cartridges to support Isabelle's files. We could have tried it with New Leaf, but we wanted to get those done all at the same time. Enjoy! Not a single word of that made much sense, did it? But that is sometimes the nature of things when you are inhabiting my haunted palace. It then cut to a welcome screen. I chose to start a new town. I got to customize my character a bit, and then it cut to me leaving a train. Isabel ran up to me. "Oh, hello. Nice to see you here. We've been waiting for so long that there aren't any animals left in town. Anyway, follow me to town hall." Isabel and my character went to the town hall, where Pelly sat working. I need a sip of fucking water if I'm gonna do something really wild here. Even in my haunted palace, far beyond the limits of your traditional definition of objective reality, there is still power in the element of water. Healing spells, healing potions. It's just water. If you ever are in the need of some healing potions, water will do it. You will need to know this later. No. Good day, Izzy. I mean, Isabel. I'm so sorry. Pelly then began to cry. Isabel, looking disgruntled, said, "I don't remember what I made her sound like." "Just don't let it happen again." I was played through a few games when I came across a house. I read the sign outside to see if it would say who used to live in it. It said Teddy. Even though I knew he wasn't there anymore, I went inside to see if he left anything. The screen went black for a few seconds, then there was TV static. It then showed Teddy exercising, and Isabel walked in. "Teddy, where is my frying pan you borrowed from me last week?" Teddy stopped. He gave her a subtle smirk. "Chill, Izzy. I told you I needed to borrow it from you for 2 weeks. If it really means that much to you, I can give it to you tomorrow." Isabel started to look insane. Did you just call me Izzy? Do you know what happens to scumbags stealing who call me Izzy?" She then pulled out a knife and ran up to Teddy, who tried to run away. Before she reached him, it cut to me in the house with Teddy's dead bloody corpse. Isabel then came in. "You weren't supposed to see this. You can't see this. I have no choice." "You left me with no choice." Suddenly, I was sucked into the game. Right in front of me was Teddy's corpse, and behind me was Isabel. She then pulled me all the way back to Town Hall, where they play all of their favorite she plays you all of her favorite music. She loves all of her favorite bands. She loves Mers Bow. She loves Nickelback. She loves you. I didn't want to do this. I really didn't, but I have to. She pulled out her knife. I can't trust you not to tell someone. I won't tell anyone, Isabel. I swear. She lowered the knife. You better keep your mouth shut, Mare. She then raised it back up. In hell! She came close to stabbing me when the ghost of my old dog Isabel jumped and bit her. She ripped the knife out of her hand and stabbed her. Isabel, thank you for saving me. She turned to me. No problem. You were always my favorite. I smiled as I was taken out of the game. The plush was still in my hand. I sighed, replaced red with new leaf, and saw Isabel as she was supposed to be. Included in my tale book is an image too frightening, too horrible for human eyes to truly grasp, but get a look at that, yes, this is what horror is truly about. This is fear in its truest form, and it can only be experienced here in my haunted palace, where all of your worst, favorite, least favorite, loved, hated, all of your stories, horror, scary, horror, scary, horror stories, scary, horror stories are made manifest. If you see a little dog named Isabel in your dreams, well, you had best just hope you get the right one now, wouldn't you?